Hello? I can hear you now. Okay, I can hear you. I can see you. Oh my God, you're a baby. What the fuck? You should be joining Mezarvolt. What the fuck are you doing?
Can
How
you hear
old are
me?
you?
Wait, my mic working? My mic's working?
Yes. Your mic is
Oh, all right.
working.
I'm sorry. I am sorry for the disturbing with the microphone situation.
How old are you? Right off the jump.
I am 16. I'm not that old. I know,
Why
but
why why have you okay, you're 16 years old. Why haven't you joined Mezarvolt?
Hmm? What'd you say?
Are you a socialist?
I'm kind. First of all, I want this to be very. want this to be respectful. I don't want any harassing or cursing because
No,
I'm a
no, of course
16-year-old. You
not.
can get cancelled for that.
Of
I don't wanna
course
do
not.
anything.
Of course
I don't wanna
not.
do
Of course
anything.
not.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Are you familiar
Hmm.
with the group that I just mentioned? It's called Mezarvolt.
No, I am not. I am not that active. I just came on Twitch. I just wanted to like mention that. Let me start like this. I just don't see the point of streaming on Twitch and basically just coming on and some of the things you're spreading are right. Some of the things you're spreading are wrong. I just think that it is wrong to come into a topic that is not related to your life. And maybe if you're Muslim, if you're Palestinian, I get it. Okay, you can.
But I am
But
Muslim.
if you're Palestinian, I get it. It's
But
okay.
wait,
You
you said
can.
if you're Muslim, I get it. I am Muslim.
Okay, you're Muslim. No, no. I was trying to. I was saying that, but no, I was.
So you get it.
If you're
So you
Palestinian,
think
if you're
it
no, sorry, I wasn't. Sorry, I'm just kind of. I've lots of ADHD. Um. So what I was trying to say is, if you're Palestinian, okay, I get it. You have every right to be angry. I know everything is going as I'm not happy with the situation. You're not happy with the situation. I know what's going on. The thing is, I just don't see a point of spreading it online to people that don't live there, don't experience what's going on there, and I don't think it seems necessary to actually do all of this. Maybe you can go stream games, to go do things that entertain your viewers, but I don't see posting media on the internet related about something. Because let's say the Ukraine and Russia war. When was the last time you heard it about the media? It's very very rare to actually see something
uh-huh.
related about that. And if you want, you can agree. If you want, you cannot agree. But
No.
the thing is,
I agree. I think America is no longer as interested in using Ukraine as a talking point, and they've just kind of completely dropped the conversation. But one thing you mentioned that I think is very interesting. Okay, first of all,
Mhm.
I'm not going to be like combative with you at all, and I'm
Yeah,
really
go ahead.
glad that you came on. It's very brave of you to do so. Um, I have a couple questions for you. First of all, you had a cat with a Ushanka on your Avi. So are you a socialist? Do you consider
I
yourself?
am not associated. I just thought it was a cool kitty picture.
Okay, that's cool. That's good to know. I just, there are a lot of Israeli leftists and socialists and communists who are exactly in your age group that are fans of mine. I don't know if you know any of them or not, but that's why I thought maybe it was one of those situations. But
Oh no, this is like my second time hopping on stream. I'm sorry if I'm like
no,
not up
don't
to date
apologize.
with
Don't
everything that's going
apologize.
on.
Okay, so you said a couple different things that I want to address. So first, you said that it's not your business. You know what I mean? But then you also said that
Mhm.
if you're Muslim, if you're Palestinian, I get it. And I told you
No,
I'm Muslim.
I was mainly going for the. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I was mainly for going for the Palestinian like civilians or people that got deported or evacuated from there.
Mm-hmm.
That was the main group I was focusing on. That you can have every right to
Okay.
be angry or to have an opinion about it.
Okay.
But
So
the only thing I see is about like other people that are not actually living or went through the horrors of both sides. I don't think they have a right to speak about it.
okay. So here's a question I have for you. Right?
Hmm.
There's two different avenues to tackle this on. One is obviously
Okay.
the morality, right? And the other is the logistics. And I think you're
Hmm.
wrong on both accounts, but I'll go through the morality one real quick.
All right. All
Are
right.
you familiar with the saying Martin Luther King once said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere."
I never heard of that. Can you explain about it real quick?
Yes.
Like just a
So
few words.
injustice
Thank you.
anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Right? So when
Hmm.
people are being wronged far away from us if we see that, we have a moral imperative, in my opinion, to put an end to it, to draw awareness to it, and to do everything we can to stop it. Do you agree with that? Like, for example, when you see, let's lower the barriers and not talk about like systems of oppression or anything like that, but simply talk about like, if you saw a woman being robbed at gunpoint, or not at gunpoint, but if you saw a woman having their purse stolen on the side of the street, would you not call for action? Would you not call to say like, hey, stop that, or call for the cops or something like that?
I would report the person to the police. I won't, because it's none of. I would do as minimalistic thing as I can. I won't. Not saying as I go to pro. No, I'm like, let me. So I'm sorry. I'm diverting it back to the conflict.
No, it's fine.
But I'm not meaning like you can go to parades. But just like you can do what every person has their own free will. I'm not saying don't go do it. I'm just saying it's like I don't think it is necessary, because and I don't think it is right. Yeah, basically I just don't think that it's right to do that, to come and say and go, and if you it's yeah.
I think on the morals alone,
I'm done for now. Ego.
Okay, so on the morals alone, I disagree with you, and here's why. I think that even if I was not even remotely connected to the actions that Israel takes, or the oppression and the struggle that Palestinians withstand on a daily basis, I think that it is still the right thing and the moral thing to speak out against such injustices. And the example I will use is the Holocaust, right? I think it was a good thing that we and the rest of the Allied forces took a stand against the inhumane actions that the Nazi government was taking at the time. I think that the entire world coming together, the Allied forces coming together, and forcibly putting an end to the Nazi regime was an objective good. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. Yes.
Do you think that if other people also at the same time, and there were many people that were like, let's not get involved in this. This is not our affairs at all, right?
Yes.
If other people had your attitude that you're demonstrating right now, the outcome of history might have been very different. Do you agree?
I agree. Yes. I just
So I think you do understand why people who are not directly related to the cause can see injustice and take matters into their own hands to try and stop it. And
like,
it can be a good thing.
The thing is, if they want to, I'm not meaning, I'm saying in sarcastic, but if you want to come and help the guys, and if you want to kill the militants, you want to call them terrorists, call them however you want. If you want to go, I'm not gonna do it, but go. I'll book you a flight. Go book a flight. Go try cross the border, and
Well, I
try and
can't.
help them. See what? Yeah, of course.
There's
you
no
can.
way.
It's
There's no
blocked,
way to
and
get into.
There is no way to get in.
Yeah, there's currently
you
no
can
way to
maybe,
get in.
Take an airstrike and shoot in.
Yeah. So okay. I mean, it's beyond that. Obviously, there are, I would say, steps before you rise up in arms against the Israeli state, I think.
Oh yeah.
Don't you think?
Can we? I'm sorry to ask this, but can we just a bit focus? I'm not trying to go to the history. I'm what I mainly came here for is for justifying justifying from whatever's my side of the Israeli side, not trying to do it in any unrespectful way. I'm just trying to.
No, I know, and I appreciate.
I'm trying to express my opinion about the 7th of October. If we can just focus on that and not the history.
No. I appreciate you. You've been very cordial. So the thing I wanted to say is that there is a second part to this argument as well, because you say that we as Americans, for example, are far removed from this conflict. And that is, of course, not the case. And here's why. I will repeat what I told you before you got on the guest star, that American tax dollars and American munitions are used in both the offensive war that Israel is conducting in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, and American defense capabilities are what allows Israel to take increasingly dangerous actions in the region as a destabilizing force, like striking the Iranian consulate compound in Damascus, violating international law, and violating Iranian sovereignty. They would not be able to do this if they didn't know full well that American military, paid for by the American tax dollars, myself included, would come to defend Israel unconditionally at every step of the way. So this actually makes us in the United States of America morally culpable with the actions that Israel is taking. This is precisely the reason why a lot of my coverage personally doesn't simply revolve around what is going on the ground in Gaza or what is going on in Israeli politics. I am a political commentator. I do talk about these sorts of things as well, of course. But a big part of my coverage also revolves around getting our politicians in the United States of America to stop unconditionally offering support to Israel in the form of giving billions of dollars worth of weapons to Israel and consistently replenishing their munitions as they are conducting what I consider to be an ethnic cleansing campaign.
Okay. So, based about what you said, tell me if I'm correct or not. You're saying you're paying your tax money and you're working and you're giving your money to basically the U.S., which supports us, which lets us do whatever we want. Is that what you said?
I mean, it's a little reductive, but yeah, pretty much.
Roughly what I saw. Okay. So, if we let's say the U.S. wasn't just such of a big country, not country, sorry, a big part of the world, and it was, let's say, one of the small European countries, and it was America, named America, and everything was the same thing, and the economy, let's say, it was the same thing. I'm theoretically, okay, I'm not saying it's real. It's gonna happen now, and let's say everyone hated you, okay? And you had no one backing up. You had no one backing you back. You had no one backing you up. And let's say Iran was beef with them as well, they would just strike us, and there was no more America, right? There was no more America.
So can I ask you a question? In this hypothetical, have I done anything that has caused people to hate me? Like, am I doing stuff? Do I get
That's the thing. Let's say since I'm sorry, I'm going back. I just need this to express my opinion. When the Holocaust happened, I'm sorry I'm going through this. I said I won't.
No, don't apologize. It's fine. Go ahead.
Because I want to keep this as organized as possible. On the Holocaust, around 6 million Jews around the world died, and that was mainly because the Germans just disliked or had any sort of disagreement with the Jews.
It's a little bit more complicated than that, but
I know it is a bit more complicated, but that's roughly what it was, right?
Judeo-Bolshevism, as you know, they hated communism, socialism, trade unionism. They wanted an outgroup, a permanent outgroup, and they found Jews to be the historic enemy, which was a very comfortable narrative for them, as you know, as I'm sure you're aware of. I don't need to educate you on Jewish history. Jews have always been the number one villains in the eyes of all of these monstrous individuals, right? Centuries of pogroms, whether it be Tsarist Russia or whether it be Spain and all these Christian countries, they've always somehow found Jews to be the responsible party for everything and lied about Jewish people drinking the blood of Christian babies and whatnot. Germany was kind of playing on that age-old classic. It was bullshit, of course. I mean, obviously, Jews were not responsible for the things that Germany claimed that they were responsible for. It was economic collapse after World War I and many other factors. But yeah, you're right.
So now I will continue. Sorry. So if that happened, wait, okay, where was I? I forgot. I'm
You were
not sure.
talking about how the Nazis set up a dehumanization campaign against Jews in Germany and everywhere else in Europe, as a matter of fact, that ended up justifying, in the eyes of their allies and in the eyes of Nazi Germany, the
Okay, yeah,
complete death and
I remember.
destruction
I'm
of the
sorry for
Jewish
cutting you. I just,
population, 6 million Jews specifically.
yeah, okay, thank you. So what I was coming on to say, if America, if it happened, let's say to America, if it's a no, wait, it is very late here. I'm sorry. I'm just my brain is it's just like 2 a.m. here. I'm sorry for my brain. מה אימא? כן, באמת שאני חייב אקוסטיקה בחדר, אני יודע את זה. Yeah, that was my mom. She said that was noisy. Sorry, I'm sorry about that.
Why is your mom up at 2 a.m.?
She works at the national radio, so she has to stay up and do everything.
Okay.
Okay, I can if you're interested, I can explain about that later.
No. Cole, go on. I'm interested in what you have to say.
Okay. So what I was going on to say with let's that pretend game, not pretend, the pretend game with the US being in the Israeli spot. There was basically no, let me go to another subject. If Israel if America didn't support Israel, do you know any strong empires around the world, not empires, but like strong dominant countries, like I don't really know the specific word, but in this, yeah, sorry, nations. So any strong nations that are, and none of them would support Israel, only like one or two small ones. We would 99% would already be dead, like 99% of us here. That's
I
what
don't. No,
because
I don't think
if
so.
we didn't have America on our side, we would be defenseless 100%. We would not have any defense.
I don't think so. But here's why. One, if you recognize what you just said, then you understand why I, as an American, do play a role in this, and therefore it is totally valid for me to speak on Israel's actions, right? Because you just said if America wasn't in defense of Israel or wasn't unconditionally offering support to Israel, then Israeli lives would be at stake. If you find that to be correct, as do I, to a certain degree, then you understand why it is my moral imperative as an American citizen to put an end to Israel's genocidal campaign in Gaza. So it is very much my business.
Okay, so I agree. I agree. Both sides do some sort of genocide. Okay, I can partially agree with you on that. Okay.
Do you? Okay. Oh no, I don't. I don't agree with both. Unless you're talking about America and Israel.
No. I'm talking about Israel and Palestine. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about Israel and America. I'm sorry if I got that.
I don't agree that Palestine or Palestinians are doing genocide. I don't agree with that assessment.
Okay, it's okay. I respect your opinion. I just
okay. No, tell me why you think that though, because you said you said Israel is doing a genocide, which I think is a brave take to have, especially as an Israeli. There are plenty of Israelis in my chat who also feel the same way, including Let
me just say one short thing. In general, in the conclusion, everyone is brainwashed by the media. We can never know what is real, what is fake, and only if you went there and you have witnessed that, there is no way you know what's real, what's fake. Because
I don't agree with that. We are yes. The media does filter information and offers a lens and a perspective and they do it for obvious reasons. However, no, I don't agree that like you can't come to a honest conclusion about what is going on your own unless you literally are inside of Gaza. Because guess what? We have access to people that are currently trapped inside of Gaza so we can hear their perspective directly due to social media, especially.
Hmm.
So,
And sadly, we cannot hear our people that have been captured by Gaza or have already been killed, which
well,
lots of cases have been already found of Israeli civilians that were running for their lives while being captured by Gazan militants. Sorry for that. And basically being taken there, there has been witnesses and people confirming, and they're like people telling their story. Maybe it was scripted, maybe it was not. I am not sure what's going on, but from my perspective, from my thought and like way of thinking, I think both sides are wrong. I'm saying yes, there are some things we did bad, but we're not all bad. We're not all in the wrong.
what do you mean we are not all bad, by the way? Do you mean
I
like
mean, I
every
mean
Israeli
Israel.
citizen, or do you mean the Israeli Defense
Every Israeli
Force?
citizen, every Israeli
No, I don't
citizen.
think every Israeli citizen is bad.
Because people come and say, free Palestine and basically eliminate all Israeli people, and that's like very
Well,
extremist opinions.
people say a lot of stuff, right?
People say a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
but what really get me frustrated is
that doesn't mean that
what
that's my
makes me really
perspective.
frustrated. That is people. I'm sorry, very sorry. What gets me really upset is that people say things without actually being aware. Because I say I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying there are people that don't do their research and spread out opinions. I know you did the research. You did the research, and I really appreciate that for you. Appreciate you for that. But I just don't think everyone can come and say those sentences and do those actions without knowing what's really going on.
Sure. I think that there are, of course, going to be uninformed people on every side of a conversation. And some people will be more passionate than others and say things that are hurtful. But ultimately, I think that facts are still facts. And I do
Well, we
believe.
cannot know what facts are facts
No, I
because,
mean,
as I said,
I think that there are some things that you have admitted that, like, for example, Israel's doing a genocide, right?
no, I'm sorry for cutting you off. We are taking revenge on 7th of October, and after several, if I want, is there an option to share my screen here? Is it okay by you if I share my screen?
Don't, because if you're going to show me TOS, terms of service violating stuff, then
Wikipedia all right?
are there images? Are there going to be?
I don't think so. Well,
So or
if I
you can
show
just
you
link
like
it to me.
if I'm allowed to show leaked footage of things that happened on 7th of October, is that allowed?
No,
I
you
don't know. I
can't.
don't know Twitch TOS.
No, you can't, and not because I've seen all of that, by the way, but
Mhm.
you can't show it on Twitch because of
Ah,
terms of
all right.
service.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
listen, so let's talk about October 7. I
Yes.
think that, and I've talked about this quite extensively. This is now the 7th month of coverage. I'll just come out and honestly tell you a couple things. First of all, because you're probably unfamiliar, but you said you're 16. When you were 6 years old, I was still a political commentator advocating for the emancipation of Palestinians. Now, one might ask, why were you an advocate for Palestinians? It's not like Israel was bombing them directly at the time. Well, you would be wrong. Not only were there many different sieges that had occurred in the Gaza Strip prior to this past one, which is objectively the most violent one, beyond that, Israel has illegally and unjustly occupied both the West Bank and has controlled the everyday existence of all of the civilians, everyone living inside of the Gaza Strip. This amounts to an illegal and unjust occupation, and what I and many others now in the international community consider an apartheid. Do you know what an apartheid is?
I hold on. I forgot the meaning. Can
Look
you
it up.
explain it to me real quick? Yeah, I'm just looking
You
at
can
it
look
right
it
now.
up. Here, we pull it up together. Okay.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
Google
Apartheid.
apartheid
Okay. It was a
and you
system of
click on the
which
Wikipedia
was
page of
yeah.
apartheid,
Exists in South Africa. Broadly
yeah.
speaking, apartheid was declared in
Yes,
2015
it is a
across the
system
oceans.
of institutionalized racial segregation that existed in South Africa, Southwest Africa, now Namibia, from 1948 to the early 1990s. So, what happened in South Africa between black people, white people, and those who were determined to be black, which they called, I think, colored people at the time, and the separation and the two-tiered legal structure that existed for them is identical to the conditions of Palestinians living in the West Bank, not being able to use the same roads that Israeli Jews are allowed to use, and Israeli citizens across the board, actually. Palestinian citizens of Israel, I believe, are also given the opportunity to freely travel through the West Bank, is not afforded
Oh no,
to.
there are places we are not allowed to go in the West Bank.
Yeah,
There are
I know.
several places.
No, you are still very much allowed to go to those places. It is just a matter of your own security, is what the IDF says, that you are not allowed to go to those places. But many Jews do go to those places. Many Israelis do go to those places. They're activists who are going to those places to unironically defend the Palestinians that are under attack by Israeli settlers in those places. Did you know this?
Oh yes, I know this.
Okay, so are you familiar with a human rights advocacy group that is Israeli called B'Tselem?
Let me search it up real quick. Oh, it's an academy in Jerusalem, I think.
The Israeli Information Center for Human Rights, B'Tselem, BTSELEM.
B what?
BTSELEM.
Oh, B'Tselem. Oh, that
B'Tselem.
one. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
B'Tselem. I'm sorry. I'm just
Yeah, no, it's all good.
okay.
So, if you would like to learn more about the Israeli apartheid regime from an Israeli source, then I recommend you search B'Tselem Israeli apartheid.
Oh
They
yeah,
are.
I can see what is going on here.
What do you think is going on here?
I am seeing two sides here. One side that left people out of their homes unjustified. Second side, I see revenge, and I see very oh my Siri woke up, and I see several things done by, because if I would go on other sources, I would see Palestinian women, Palestinian men, Palestinian children, with weapons, going and I saw several videos of people crossing the border, exploding tanks, just dancing on the tanks, and yay, we actually conquered the tank, which there were people living there, people which came to stop the infiltration, which to our land. And I know you're gonna be angry of the infiltration to
I'm not.
our land.
I'm just listening.
However you're gonna pronounce whatever you want to say. I'm just saying. And let me go to another side.
Wait. Hold on. Let's stay on topic.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
the reason why I showed you the Israeli human rights, the Israeli Information Center for Human Rights in the occupied territories, and the reason why I wanted you to look at it yourself, and I hope you do after this conversation, is because this organization is comprised of Israeli citizens that do go to the West Bank and do track all of the actions of the IDF and the settlers, right? And they're very knowledgeable and very good at informing everyone about why Israel is an apartheid state. Because I think that we have to establish this, and whether or not you agree with me on this matters a lot to the point of contention at play. First, you must understand what an apartheid is, And then you have to understand whether or not Israel is doing an apartheid state and has an apartheid state. And only then we can continue this conversation, because the reality of the matter is that this is about what is inadvertently always going to happen. I believe that what happened on October 7 is a tragedy, right? No civilian, no citizen deserves to be slaughtered in their homes. That much I, of course, agree with. People should never be kidnapped and held hostage. These are not the actions, however, of a brutal, barbaric horde of monsters that are operating simply on anti-Semitism, as is the way that it is presented in Israeli media. These are the actions of desperate people. These are the actions of people that have withstood 75 years of occupation and feel as though there is nothing else that they can do. That's the point. I don't want October 7 to ever happen. I don't want anything, even less than October 7, to ever happen to Israel, to anyone, right? So in order to avoid future pain and in order to avoid October 7 to begin with, I believe that Israel has to stop its apartheid regime. Israel being the responsible
we do have a right
party.
to defend ourselves. We do have a right to defend ourselves from everything or things that happen. Let's say, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
The defense,
let's say
the defense
the
of
defense.
Israel cannot be an apartheid, though. You can't, like, for example, you can't do a
Oh
defensive
no,
genocide.
I agree. Our government is scattered all over the place. There's people I agree with, people I disagree with, but in general, I'm just saying, like, in general, people I agree with in the government. People I don't agree with the government. I'm repeating myself.
That's
I know.
fine. That's okay. Disagreements within your own government is fine, but we're talking about something that most Israelis are unified on, at least according to Israeli
Yeah, but
polls.
the one thing, the one thing we're unified of, first of all, live. Second thing, protect ourselves. And third thing, just having peace. Well, wait. I'm even reading the chat. My God. Let's say you know Menachem Begin and the other former past presidents and
Yes.
prime ministers.
Yes.
You know they have did many peace treaties with other countries, right?
With other countries or with Palestinians?
With other countries
Oh yeah.
around us, surrounding us.
Yeah,
You know
those are strategic partnerships, mostly facilitated by the United States in an effort to give Israel more breathing room so they can continue maintaining its apartheid and maintain the stranglehold that they have on the Palestinian population.
You know, I have one thing to say.
Go ahead.
If you want, come over here. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. Come here. Do whatever you want. See how everything handles. Go be on the front lines of the Israeli side and try and see a peek or whatever's going on the Palestinian side. Go to the West Bank, see what's going on, and if you and just see, and you need to be here to actually know what's going on, because in my opinion, if you're outside of the current situation physically, if we're not here physically, I don't think you have any right to have an opinion about this. I'm not saying this in a mean or a disrespectful way.
The
only thing I'm saying.
So let me ask you this: Have you ever been?
I'm super
have you ever been to the Palestinian territories in the West Bank or Gaza?
No, I didn't finish my sentence though.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, finish your sentence.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So what I was saying, if you're not here physically, just don't get involved, because the one thing us what's the name the people that live here that are just trying to go to school, work, and do it and just work, live their life, go to school, as I repeated that already. Go play with their friends. Go and have children, get married, buy a house. We still want to live. It's not like we're coming to demolish everyone. Most of the people here are just here to live and have a place to live in, like every country else, every other country that have a house, a family, their job, everything. So just don't, מה? אני צועק? אני רב עם אנשים באינטרנט על מדינות עם 30,000 צופים. אתה רוצה להצטרף, אתה מוזמן. אתה רוצה להצטרף? Sorry, it's my brother, I'm just explaining the situation. אתה רוצה, אתה מוזמן להצטרף.
Oh no.
אתה רוצה, אתה מוזמן להצטרף. מה? למה לשים על מיוט? לא, אני בינתיים, אוף. גדע. אני, טוב, מה? מה? בשתינו, אנחנו בדיבייט. עם 30,000 אנשים, יאללה, תן לי לטפל בזה. I'm sorry about that. Okay.
It's all right.
I'm sorry, that was my brother. He is kind of clueless about what's going on. I'm just shouting here at around like 2:30 a.m., which is okay. And now I will go on something that I have written on the side while you were talking. Whoever's laughing, you can laugh about what happened. It's all right.
No, I'm laughing at your mom trying to.
Oh no, that was my brother this time. That was my brother.
Okay, well that's what I'm laughing at.
It's all right. It makes total sense. It makes total sense. I agree. That was
look,
funny.
You were talking about seeing the humanity of Israeli citizens, which I do. You do not know this probably, but not only do I have a lot of Israeli leftists in my community, but I also have connected with Israeli orgs. I've talked to a Knesset member, Dr. Ofer Kasif. He was suspended recently. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. Everyone wants him out. I'm not joking. Everyone wants him out.
I know. He's not a very popular guy in Israel.
I went last week to take an interview with him from a school project, and that was a disaster. I'm saying.
We know that he's not very well liked in Israel, but I don't think that's a good point for Israel.
He was nice. He was nice. You know, he adores what is his name? Barcelona and Liverpool. He's a person after all. But I have no other thing else to say than he has. He wants, like, if we will go to another side, he was just like he's a communist. I have nothing else to say.
He's a communist. You have nothing. Okay.
He said, I have friends that were with me over there, and he said he's a communist. So you
No, I know. But
you
the
do
thing
your own
is,
thing.
the thing is, I don't think that is as dirty of a word as you think it is all I'm saying. But in any case,
I'm sorry about
the organization that I mentioned, who is comprised of people that are around your age as well, Mesarvot, is an organization of conscientious objectors to the IDF as well, including Tal Mitnick, who I think was also in the news, maybe not so much on the Israeli news, but for going to jail, for not serving in the military and refusing to serve in the military openly. So I do recognize, of course I recognize not only the humanity of Israelis, but even the Israelis who disagree with me, I recognize the humanity of. I still think that regardless of what someone's opinion might be, I still think that they deserve a life of dignity. They still deserve health care. They still deserve to pursue happiness in their own ways. It does not matter what their opinions or what their ideologies are.
Which group of people are you speaking about again?
I'm saying all Israelis. No. All Israelis, I'm saying. Of course I believe in the humanity of everyone in Gaza, no matter what. I'm saying that I also believe in the humanity of all Israelis as well, that they should also have health care, a comfortable existence, a roof over their heads, you know what I mean, and a lifelong pursuit of happiness and dignity. That is what I believe. I'm a humanitarian, and I believe that Israelis deserve that as well. My point is that the instability and the pain that Israelis feel after October 7 is the fault of the Israeli government. And it's the fault of the Israeli government for not only, obviously, not securing the kibbutzim and not securing those communities and not offering ample security
Oh,
to.
kibbutzim are secure. I have my
No,
mom's
I'm saying on October 7 it
friends.
was not, though.
Oh, they were. There was a surprise attack. How we had
Well, that's
very
what I
little
mean.
intel.
That's what I mean is
But
that it wasn't
we
secure
do have like
enough.
guards around the kibbutzim before October 7th. There's a thing in the kibbutzim that are called shomrim, or basically the guards, or mishmar gvul and other things, which are border patrol going around, which around the Gaza, or around like on the Gaza Strip, around like the kibbutzim
Okay,
over
well,
there.
regardless, a bunch of civilians died in the kibbutzim, did they not? They were killed.
Oh yeah, of course they were killed.
Okay, so that's my point. My point is that regardless of all the security that you just mentioned, it didn't work. And all of that is the fault of the Israeli government, yes. But beyond that, why are these people going in fucking paragliders and using any means necessary to go into Israel proper, and taking hostages and killing as many people as possible? This is the question that one must ask themselves. Now, if you believe they did that as a consequence of like a revenge fantasy, or because they hate Jewish people or whatever, then that's one thing. I don't believe that. Some of them definitely do. Some of them definitely must be anti-Semitic, certainly. Some of them wanted revenge, certainly. But a big chunk of the planning and operations and everything that has happened on October 7 was designed with a specific purpose. That specific purpose was to show the Israeli government that they cannot continue to oppress Palestinians without incurring a cost. And the cost was that tragedy on October 7. So this is the reason why I say and have been saying that if Israelis want to pursue a life of dignity and peace and prosperity, there's only one way out of that. Long-lasting peace can only be achieved if Israel releases the stranglehold that it has on the Palestinian population and offer them humanity, offer them dignity, offer them the same conditions that they offer to all Israeli citizens now.
Oh, I'm sorry if I'm interfering with your
No,
sentence.
go ahead. That was all. That was the point I was making.
Okay. I just forgot the very specific organization name, the one that was supporting Gaza. It was a European, I think, organization that was giving them hospitals, healthcare, and everything. What's the name of the organization? I
You're
forgot.
talking about UNRWA?
UNRWA, yes, UNRWA.
UNRWA.
Okay. You know what happened with UNRWA?
I do. And I do know what you're about to say, and what you're about to say is wrong, but go ahead, say it anyway.
Okay. You do know what they had inside UNRWA and every other basically UNRWA building they had?
Are you going to say weapons caches? Is that what you're going to say?
Of course. Weapon caches, tunnels, ammo, grenades, whatever they had, intel, places to live. Not places as in to hide. They have a whole tunnel system. If you went on the internet and you saw the whole tunnel system, just to strategize and basically prepare for October 7th. You know when they started preparing for October 7th, a year ago. They were in their tunnels preparing for October 7th.
I know.
Everything was planned. I'm just saying before I'm saying all of this, I'm just saying you can believe whatever you want to believe.
UNRWA as an organization is a United Nations backed organization that not only offers help to the Palestinians. One must ask why there needs to be help offered to the Palestinians to begin with, and the answer to that is, of course, Israel.
And did they get that support?
But hold on,
that was their original purpose. Did they get that aid?
Also hires,
or did Hamas come and take that aid for themselves?
UNRWA also hires Palestinians on top of that. So they are offering
And
some kind of economic help.
80%, or I don't remember the exact percentage, but that was a high percentage.
80% of UNRWA workers are Hamas?
I don't remember the exact percentage, but I remember it was high.
My friend, remember when you said the media lies sometimes, and
of course the media lies.
Well, I'm here to tell you that
I
saw
objectively
a lie.
Footage.
No,
I saw.
Okay, well, I'm gonna explain something to you right now.
Can I just
what you have said about, or what the Israeli media says about UNRWA is objectively and demonstrably false. Okay, the Israeli government said UNRWA participated in October 7 attacks. Do you know what number? They did not. Do you know what number? And I'll prove it to you in a second. But before then, I'll show you. I'll show you the actual investigations that were conducted, because as you said, this is ultimately a United Nations organization, so they have they can comprise internal. I mean, they do internal audits. But beyond that, do you know the number of UNRWA employees? Like how many people work under the banner of UNRWA?
Not exactly, but there is a lot of people.
13,000.
I remember.
That's the number.
13,000.
Okay.
That's still a number.
So Israel, the Israeli government, without any evidence whatsoever, suggested to the United Nations and the international community that 12 UNRWA members had played a role in October 7. 12 out of 13,000. 12. Okay? That's what they said. It's not 80%. It was 12. Now, the 12 number was also false to begin with, albeit very low. That was enough for America and all of the dick riders of America, all these other countries that are cucked to the United States of America, to withdraw funding from UNRWA at a time when the Palestinian population desperately needs funding because they are currently withstanding genocide.
Okay. And now,
the 12 number was also false and was investigated and found to be completely bullshit. The United States of America also now agrees that it was fabricated. It was made up. UNRWA did not participate. UNRWA does not operate alongside Hamas, and UNRWA does not participate or did not participate in the October 7 attacks. And even the Israeli government's own lie originally, the number that they offered was 12, is a ridiculous number to say that UNRWA is Hamas entirely. Now, having said that, of course, does Israeli media greatly exaggerate or change the narrative internally when conducting domestic affairs? I'm sure they do. I mean, we here in America do this all the time to our population as well. So it's not shocking, but that is not true. The notion that UNRWA, 80% of UNRWA is Hamas is objectively false.
Okay. And now, if UNRWA was monitored correct, I'm sorry, I'm just look at the camera. If UNRWA was monitored correctly, would they? I think they would stop the weapon stashes and the tunnels and whatever they had inside of the hospitals, schools, and
can I give you one piece of information as well, by the way, from Haaretz? I mean, I don't know if you're gonna say it's like too liberal or whatever.
Haaretz is not
what?
It's mostly fake news here.
Haaretz is mostly fake. Wait, what do you listen to? What do you watch then? If you think Haaretz is fake news,
Haaretz is mainly biased, but alright.
I mean, okay. What are the Israeli news sources that you rely on?
כאן 11, חדשות 12, there is, what else there is? It's 12, 11, there is channel 14, there is Ynet, there is way more. There's a lot of sites.
I know there's a lot. I know there's a lot of Israeli news.
If you want to go to these websites and see what's going on.
So can I ask you something?
I'm probably sure you heard of another news source which is called Yosef Haddad, if you heard of him. Joseph Haddad, if you heard of him. I'm just saying.
Joseph Haddad, what is that? Is that the son of? Is that the? No, that's not. That's the. Joseph Haddad is a defender of Israel.
And he's
Israel cast with Yosef Haddad. Well, he's an IDF guy, huh? You don't think he's a little bit biased? Don't you think? Maybe.
You want? Okay, I'm
I mean, is he
gonna
not
say another
biased?
thing.
He's
He has his own opinions. He is not paid by the government. He is not paid
okay.
to
Okay,
say
but
anything.
I'm not paid by any government, and I have my own opinions. I admit that I'm biased, right? Like, don't you think that Yosef Haddad is a little bit biased of a person to have his own independent opinions, but you can still be biased.
Like you, he has his own, he can post and say whatever he wants. He has trustable sources. You have trustable sources as well. I'm just saying that he, in general,
I'm gonna be honest. I think
if you know, he's Muslim as well. He is considered as an Arabic citizen. He is considered Muslim in the country.
no,
And
I
he's
know, I know. He's well, he's not Muslim.
He still supports.
He's not Muslim, by the way. Yosef Haddad is not Muslim.
He is Muslim.
No, he's not. He's an Arab Israeli Orthodox Christian. He's a Christian, but it doesn't matter. It is interesting that you thought immediately that because he's Arab, he must be.
Oh no, that was what I was told. Thank you for correcting me. That was what I was
he's Christian.
told.
Doesn't matter. I mean, he's still a Palestinian citizen of Israel, as in he is still considered Arab under the Israeli demographics because he is not Jewish. So it doesn't really matter. If you're not Jewish, then you're Arab, and if you're Arab, then
oh no, that is so false. There's lots of Christians around here. If you went to Nazareth,
no, I know. I'm saying yes. If you're Christian,
lots of cities, there is like Christmas trees everywhere, and
no. You're misunderstanding what I was saying. Under the Israeli demographics, if you are Christian, you're still declared as an Arab. You're an Arab Christian.
That is completely false. I'm sorry, but that was incredibly false.
Wait, what do you mean that's incredibly false?
Okay.
So only Muslim Arabs are considered Arab, and Arab Christians are considered something else?
Arab citizens, people that are considered Arabs by the community and by the government are considered people that are Muslim or have people that are Muslim with a Muslim family. Not only that, Christian people in the government are considered Christians that believe in Christianity.
So they're not considered Arab, is what you're saying.
They can be considered Israeli citizens with a Christian believing or a Muslim believing, and they will still live here. It's all right. We don't have any. I'm not saying like we have.
No, you're misunderstanding you're agreeing with the point I was making. There's two different demographic designations according to Israeli polls in Israel. There are plenty of Arab Jews. I don't know where your family is from, but I suspect you might also be of Arabic descent, potentially.
No, I'm from the UK.
No, but you're from the UK, but what's your family's ethnic background? Like, where Jewish. Are they historically from?
Swedish and Polish.
So are you Ashkenazi? Okay. Oh, I was wrong. I thought maybe because you look tan, I thought maybe you were also
oh no, that is because I'm outside a lot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's like there is
but like Itamar Ben-Gvir, right?
There's lots of outside here.
Like Bezalel Smotrich is Ashkenazi, Netanyahu's Ashkenazi, Itamar Ben-Gvir is not. What is Itamar Ben-Gvir?
How is that related? How is that related?
I'm gonna make a point. Yes, he's from Iraq. He's Kurdish and also Iraqi. So he's Iraqi, Kurdish, and Arab. So Itamar Ben-Gvir would be classified as a Jewish citizen of Israel because he is Jewish, of course. However, technically, his ethnic background is Arab. He is of Arab descent.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You know Chok HaSheva, the rule of retrieving. Have you heard about it?
I think I know what you're talking about. Yes.
It's called in Hebrew. It's called Chok HaShvut. Have you heard about it?
Chok HaShvut? No. What do you explain?
The rule of retrieving. If you're, I think it's father. I think it was turned to mother as well.
Yeah. It's matrilineal. Yes. Yes.
Was a Jew.
Yeah. Jewish heritage. Yeah. Jewish heritage is matrilineal. Yes. Okay. I understand. Yeah. No, I know that. No. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. So you you're saying that Itamar Ben-Gvir is Jewish, right?
Hmm.
Exactly. So why are you not saying Itamar Ben-Gvir is actually Arab? Because he is from Iraq. His family is from Iraq. Therefore,
In
he
fact,
is of
okay,
Arab
but
descent.
was he born in Iraq or was he born here?
I think he was born in
He
Israel,
was
but
born
no, I
here.
know, but you're not understanding what
So
I'm trying to
how
say.
is he considered an Arab or Muslim if he was born here
He's not considered a
in
Muslim. I'm not
Israel?
saying he's Muslim at all. I'm saying
No,
he's an
sorry. How is
Arab
he considered
Jew.
Arab if he is born here? His parents are Arab. Okay, they're Arab.
Because
He is
he is
not.
Israeli. We know that he is Israeli.
He is Israeli, but
Israel is his
how is that
national
related to?
Israel is his national identity, but his ethnic background is Arab. Now,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with this. Okay, I think that it is perfectly normal to be of Arabic descent and be Jewish. I think it's valid. Avi Shleim is a respected Israeli historian that I like quite a bit. He is also from Iraq. He is a Jewish Israeli historian who happens to be from Iraq. His family happens to be from Iraq, and therefore he is technically Arab ethnically
Okay, but
and Jewish
okay.
ethnically.
Well. Yeah, that is false. What you're saying. Yeah.
Why would you consider that to be false?
Not everyone that is from Iraq or other Arabic countries are in fact Arab. They can say, do you know the okay, do you know the Jewish settlements and the Jewish cities that were in Iraq and Iran?
Yes.
Okay, they are still not considered Arab. They live there in the There was I have friends. I have friends, or their grandpas and the grandpas and grandmas and family were from Iraq and Iran, and they lived in the Israel. They live in the Israeli settlements, even in Morocco. They when they come they are not considered Arab. They're still considered Jewish and Israeli.
I understand that that's what the government considers them as, and I understand that that's what you think as well. And that distinction in and of itself is the one I have issue with. That distinction in and of itself, the classification of Mizrahi or Sephardi, Sephardic or Mizrahim, is a designation specifically created to separate those with Arab origin and Arab ethnic background from Christian and Muslim Arabs.
There is no difference. There is no difference.
No, I don't think you're understanding.
It's like you're saying Muslim, Jewish, and Christian.
The fact that you are saying Itamar Ben-Gvir is Jewish and therefore different, even though his family lived in Iraq for centuries.
No. That
is the point I'm trying to make, but I can't. I don't know if I can get it through. I don't think I can get through to you on this issue. Because this is not like this is not a matter of like bias. This is simply how things are. I don't know how else to describe it. If you lived for hundreds of years in an area, as did many Jewish people living in Iraq, many Jewish people living in other Arabic countries, you are ethnically, over the course of hundreds of years, you are ethnically Arab. You are still Jewish. But you are also ethnically
You're
Arab.
Jewish. You live in an Arab country. That is completely different.
Okay, explain to me why you think that's completely different.
You live in an Arab country. Okay, you're not. How are you living in where in the I don't remember the geographical area name, but like I think it's Asia and the where like the Middle East. The Middle East. I'm sorry, you're not on my whole man. The Middle East. You're Middle Eastern, okay? And let's say I live. I was living in Iran, and I was Jewish, and I was in a place. I would still be considered Jewish. I don't see. I don't. People would not can be considered. They speak Arabic. They speak Iranian or whatever language that is
Farsi.
local. Farsi, yes, Farsi. I'm sorry, Farsi.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, my friend's grandmother speaks Farsi. I'm sorry. So,
okay.
The thing is, even though you're from, let's say, Arabic countries, it doesn't mean you're Arabic. I hope you understand and see my point of view, which is basically trying to say, if let's say, okay, I'm bringing a sort of different example. Um, let's say I have a grandma which lived in Iran, and all of them moved out because of what was going on there, and it was very dangerous for them to live there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know there has been in the, I think it was around the around
50s.
50s, in the 50s.
Yes.
There was a whole commotion, and Jewish people, it was not safe for them to live there,
Yes.
so they left. They
Mm-hmm.
left whatever they had, left everything behind, and went to,
Yes.
let's say, some people went to America, some people went to other places, and most of them, I don't know how much, but some of them went to Israel as well.
Mm-hmm.
They were not considered Arabs. They were considered Israeli citizens, Jewish.
Yes, the Israeli government considers them Israeli citizens, but their ethnic origins do not change regardless of what the Israeli government's designation is. The
Okay,
point is
so
this.
they are dark. So
I
they
am-
are
I-
dark skinned, and they have like weirds. I don't know, whatever. However they look. It doesn't matter.
No, I know. I know that. I
And
understand that.
and that's still, how is that related? How is that related? Is you saying,
Well, one, because I don't think being declared an Arab is a bad thing. Being called an Arab.
when did I say that? When did I say being
Well,
an Arab is a bad thing?
The resistance that you have to this issue in and of itself seems to imply that you have some sort of hang up about someone
I
being
have friends
someone
that
who is
are
Jewish
Arab
being
and
called
Muslim, and I
Arab.
talk with them every day. How is that being?
No,
how
no,
is
no,
that
no, no,
being
no.
having hate
You're
to
misunderstanding
Arabs?
me. You're misunderstanding me. I mean no offense. I grew up in Turkey my whole life. My whole family is Turkish. I now live in the United States of America. I have dual citizenship. I have an American citizenship. I'm an anchor baby. I'm not going to get into that. I was born in the United States, but I grew up in Turkey and my family is Turkish. Turkish is my first
Okay.
language. So I'm Turkish American. When I inevitably have children in this country, they will be second
considered
generation American. They will still have some semblance of Turkish identity, right? They will always, no matter what, especially if I do end up marrying another, let's say, Turkish person, they will still very much have some kind of ethnic connection. That's why multiple generations of Americans live here, and they can still trace their lineage back to Ireland and England. It does not make them any less American, right? It doesn't make them any less American. Of course, they're American. You're here, you're an American citizen, you're an American. However, their ethnic background is still going to be their origin. Their ethnic origin is still going to be, regardless of what their religion is, wherever they came from. This is what I mean when I talk about Mizrahi Jews in Israel. Their ethnic background is still beyond being Jewish, because of course Judaism is an ethno religion as well. Their ethnic background is also of whatever country they are coming from into Israel. This is unchanging. Now, the reason why I went on this long conversation with you is because there is a specific purpose for why the Arab designation separates Muslim Arabs and Christian Arabs that are living in Israel from Jewish Arabs, Arabs who are coming, or Jews who are coming from Arabic countries.
And how
of
do they
origin.
divide them? How do they divide them?
The divide comes from the fact that, for example, Muslim Arabs or Arabs as a whole, like either the Bedouin that we're talking about or other different groups of Arab citizens, for example, inside of Israel, even while there is an Arab Supreme Court justice in Israel, and there are Arabs that serve in the IDF, there are still some limitations to their rights. Up until 1967, the Arab population living inside of Israel, from 1948 to 1967, actually were treated in the exact same way that the West Bank Palestinians are treated. They were treated under martial law. under military courts. They did not go to civil courts. They went and were prosecuted only in military courts. So historically speaking,
you're talking about a different group.
I'm talking about the Muslims and Christians, the Palestinian citizens of Israel between 1948 and 1967 that lived inside of the boundaries of Israel proper were treated in the exact same way that West Bank Palestinians are treated under Israeli courts right now. After 1967,
today,
they were given more. After 1967,
but today,
yes,
today
now I'm talking about
different.
Today. After 1967, after 1967, those Palestinian citizens of Israel were given more rights so that they were also treated in Israeli court systems.
No, they don't have more rights.
No.
We are equal. It's exactly like how it's going in the US.
There are still to this day limitations.
It's exactly like how it's going
there
in the
are still to this day limitations. For example, Arab citizens inside of Israel can not marry whoever they want and bring them into Israeli citizenship. If an Arab citizen inside of Israel, if a Muslim Arab citizen marries a Palestinian, if a Muslim Arab citizen marries a Palestinian, can that Palestinian Muslim get Israeli citizenship?
Yes.
No.
Wait, hold on. Let me. Okay, it is. You can't do that, but it's still not. It's still.
What do you mean? Don't you think that is a severe restriction of liberties?
Wait, hold on. I got something there. Sorry. What'd you say?
I said, don't you think that is a severe restriction of civil liberties and shows that there is still inequality for the Arab citizens of Israel, Palestinian citizens of Israel? What I'm calling Palestinian citizens of Israel, by the way, are
let's say I'm going to be in Poland, maybe Poland, okay? I am Muslim. My wife is I'm Muslim from another country, whatever. Let's say Iraq, and my wife is from Iran, and she is Muslim as well. We want to move to over there to Poland. Would you think they would accept us?
Are you a Polish national? Because if you are a Polish national,
no, you are not a Polish national.
Well, Palestinian citizens of Israel are Israeli nationals, though.
I am.
You just said that they have equal rights. You said that you just said that they have equal rights to all Israeli citizens. Like Jewish people in Israel have the same rights as the
Israel.
Yes. Okay.
And if you're Israeli and you live in Israel, you already have every right that other Israeli citizens have.
Okay.
It is not different.
For the fact that you can't
let's say
marry
the
a
West Bank
Palestinian,
have their rights. We have our rights.
Except for the fact that you can't
They
marry
can go
a
out.
Palestinian Muslim.
I know people that go out of the West Bank to learn in Tel Aviv or other places. It's not like they're locked up
That's
or
not
something.
That's not what I was saying.
Okay.
I'm saying that if you are a Palestinian citizen of Israel, if you are an Arab Christian or an Arab Muslim living inside of Israel, you are not allowed to bring your partner into Israeli citizenship if they are also Arab or Arab Muslim or Arab Christian, if they are Palestinian. If you go as a Palestinian citizen of Israel, as an Arab Christian or an Arab Muslim, you can go to the West Bank. You can marry a Palestinian Muslim or a Palestinian Christian in the West Bank, but you cannot bring them back into Israel and give them citizenship. Why do you think that is?
Because they are different countries.
Do you think that if you are a Polish national and you married someone who is not a Polish national, that they would be able to get Polish citizenship? And I don't even know why we're talking about Poland, because I can give you an example of America. If you're an American citizen and you marry someone who is not an American national, they become an American citizen as well.
But it's different. It's different. Every country.
Most countries are different. But if a country is that restrictive, don't you think that that implies that there is a double standard and an inequality there? Especially when, if you are Jewish anywhere around the world, you are automatically a citizen of Israel. You can automatically become a citizen of Israel.
Not. As long as you live in another country, you are a citizen of that country.
Yes, but you can get
if you
a
want to move
citizenship.
here, you will be considered.
Wait, hold on. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
If you are an American Jew, you live in California, and you're like, I want to get a citizenship to the state of Israel as an American Jew, you can get it. If you are a Christian Arab with an Israeli citizenship, you cannot give citizenship, you cannot transfer over citizenship to anyone else that is not Jewish. You cannot transfer citizenship through marriage into Israel if your partner is a Arab Christian or an Arab Muslim or a Palestinian citizen in general. Don't you think that this spells
what does it mean? What does it give you?
The reason why I'm saying this is because you said all citizens of Israel unconditionally have the exact same rights, and I'm telling you step by step areas where they do not have the same rights. Areas where there are still glaring, obvious inequality for Palestinian citizens of Israel, as in the Arab Christians and the Arab Muslims.
And Israel, let me just remind you that Israel was designated and is looking forward to be a Jewish country. It's, let's say, not.
No, I know that. I know. I think that is not a good goal, especially because. And that is what I disagree with fundamentally. That's at the heart of the matter, and I'm glad you're recognizing that. And the reason why I do not agree with that fundamentally is because it is supremacist ideology that dictates that only one group of people from religious backgrounds are allowed into the country, and other groups of people from other religious backgrounds are not. This, in and of itself,
let's say you want to go into North Korea. Would you get in there? You would probably get in a tour. If you go outside of the tour, you will be eliminated or dead. Every country has their own rules. It doesn't mean.
Do you agree with North Korea? Okay, let's say that what you just said is true. Do you agree with that?
No. You're getting out of it. You're getting diverse from what I'm saying.
No. I'm asking you a question. Just answer the question. Do you think that that's a good thing? If true, do you think that that's a good policy?
No. What?
Okay, so you don't think that's a good thing.
No, I'm talking. What I was trying to say is every country has their own rules. Every country has their own
I know
laws and whatever
they do. Right?
If people want to come in, if you're in America, let me just say this, okay? Okay. You want if you just you can't get your wife to Israel. You're living in Israel. You really want and desperately want to live with your wife.
I mean, I think that would be nice. Yeah, I would like to give. If I was an Israeli citizen, I would like for my wife to also be an Israeli citizen. It's the country I love, right? In that situation.
It is the country you love, so you can. There is my mother does a radio show. If you want, you can go search it up. It is called Hiya Beseder, which means it's gonna be all right in translation. What it basically does, it solves conflicts of. Mainly governmental conflicts. Let's say there are people. What happened with one of my mother's cases was she was on the radio and people came to her and they were saying, I want to bring my wife or husband or family from a different country, which they do not have a nationality, and I have a nationality. And you know what they did? It happened. They brought them here.
Okay.
It doesn't mean everyone is disqualified of coming. They are welcome. You just need to tweak a little bit the system a little bit.
Were they Arab Israelis?
Yes.
So you're saying that Arab Israelis, like Arab Christians and Arab Muslims in Israel, were allowed and their partners were given citizenship in Israel.
You just need to show enough proof that you're an Israeli citizen.
Wait, but the proof to show that you're an Israeli citizen is Jewish background.
Not only.
What else is there? What do you mean?
Which, as you saw, there are several cases which my mom did while working at the radio station with that related. So I don't. Whatever you're saying is, if only Israelis or Jewish people that are related to other Jewish people, or they want to come to Israel, it is not only that. The other people that want to come here and live and have their family and life and do whatever they can. It's not like we are prohibiting, like saying you can't come here.
No, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
I am not. You said if I want. You said, from what I understand, you're saying an Arab Muslim citizen in Israel. You're saying that an Arab Muslim citizen in Israel cannot move or bring over a family member or husband or wife.
Yeah, a Palestinian.
Not Palestinian. A Palestinian. The people in Palestine, which are overstuck there. If they want, they can come from like a ship from the sea, which from their port. It's like we're not.
What? Wait, what do you mean?
Palestinian people.
No, Palestinians can't. They don't have a port. Gaza does not have a port. Israel destroyed it.
Gaza have the shoreline. They can just bring boats.
They have a shoreline, but Israel controls their shoreline up to 6 miles. Palestinians can't even go out and fish in their own sea beyond the 6 mile line. Israel's Navy controls the Palestinian sea line. This is not true.
Sense. Okay.
Oh, it makes sense. Okay. Well, first you said it didn't happen, and now you're saying it makes sense, but it is the case. Just so you know, if you were unfamiliar with that, Palestinians are not allowed on different occasions, like all the freedoms that you normally would have inside of the Gaza Strip. They can't. As a matter of fact, the country that I'm from, Turkey, there was a flotilla of humanitarian aid workers called Mavi Marmara that went through the Israeli blockade to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza, and they were killed by the Israeli Defense Force. The Israeli occupying forces dropped in with commandos from a helicopter and slaughtered all of the people on the ship. The ship, of course, was found to be carrying no weapons whatsoever, just humanitarian aid.
Did they announce? Did they ask for?
Yes, they did. They said that they were going through. It was peaceful protest against an unjustifiable thing,
which we did not approve of.
Okay, I don't think you understand.
You can't. I'm saying as the government, I am not.
I know, but you do understand that that's still kind of fucked up, right? You can't just be like, oh, sorry, you're delivering humanitarian aid. Well, we didn't approve of it, so we're going to kill you.
They have their sources and thing from UNRWA, right? They have their humanitarian sources from UNRWA.
Well, I mean, it's clearly
what
not
happened
enough.
to the sources from UNRWA? Where is their sources?
Wait, it's clearly not enough because obviously
it's clearly there was enough. There was enough sources.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Because all matter of information, and I've read a lot about this stuff. Everything that I know for at least the past 10 years, and all of the things that I read showed that there was a humanitarian crisis in Gaza, that Gazans did not have access to clean water.
Because the militants were taking all of their supplies and building the. You know how much. Okay, you know how much money Hamas took to build their underground tunnel system?
I don't know, but I also don't know why this is relevant.
More than 10 million.
But you're misunderstanding something. I'm not talking about Hamas right now.
Okay,
I'm talking about Palestinian civil governance, and I'm talking about. Okay, I know you want to talk about Hamas because that's the only way that many people try to justify the horrifying conditions that Palestinians are subjected to on a
Wait,
regular
it's just
basis.
true. And who chose Hamas? Who chose Hamas?
Well, not the current Palestinian population.
Oh, they did. They was.
So let me ask you this. Wait, you think so? You think that
We
there
went out
there
of
are
there.
children-
Hamas went into ruling that area, into
okay, what year? What
through
year was the
election. They went
election?
through election, and Hamas won.
Uh-huh. What year was the election?
They took the resources.
What year was the election?
What year was the election?
Uh-huh.
Wait, election or non-election? Somewhere in the 2000s. From what I remember, it was election or no election. Eventually, the
wait, hold on. No, this is
didn't
important.
do anything,
so
and they let
election.
Hamas
You're right.
go rise.
Wait,
and
hold on.
control that area.
There was an election. You are right.
Oh,
I
in
believe
August
it was either 2005. It was 2005.
We went out of Gaza,
How
and
old were
Hamas
you?
went into ruling.
How old were you in the time when the election?
Well, how is
was?
that related? How is that related? I'm sorry, I'm getting angry, but how is that related? How old was I?
Well, considering
time?
that I think it's the majority of the Palestinian population is like either around your age or very close to your age. Don't you think that they probably did not participate in the election? After all, how could they have participated in this election that elected Hamas, considering that they were not alive?
Okay, so their parents probably did participate in that election. It was their parents' decision.
Okay,
it doesn't really matter who elected who voted for that.
So because it was their parents' decision,
eventually they did
it.
vote for Hamas to go on and to go and rule that area.
So for the record, the election that took place in, I think it's 2005 or 2006. The election that took place, Hamas's margin over the Palestinian Authority was very slim. I mean, it was small. They were not exactly a very popular group, regardless, and they never have been a very popular group. They have gained popularity over the course of many years as a consequence of Israel's actions on top of the entire Palestinian population, as they were the only militant resistance group, as they were the only militant resistance group against the Israeli state, because people said, all right, well, what the fuck are we going to do? We can't reason with the Israeli state at all. So, I guess these are the guys we're left with. Now, having said that, however, if voting, if your parents voting for a group,
they had the Palestinian Authority. They had.
No, they didn't. They had a coup because the Americans fucked up the election, didn't listen to the Palestinian Authority, set an election anyway. George W. Bush did this.
Okay.
And then after that, they tried to facilitate a coup d'etat in the Gaza Strip. Okay, I'm telling you, but I am currently explaining to you important history about the 2 million person open air prison that your government currently occupies. So I think it would be good to at least know some of this. Maybe you can come to different conclusions. Maybe you can find that justifiable, but it's still good to learn about the history, don't you think?
I'm sorry. What did you say about the prisons?
I said.
Can you just repeat that again, please? Thank
you.
I
said that it is good for you to learn about the history and the living conditions of those living in the open air prison. I know there's a trigger word.
I learned. The thing is, if you learned.
Well, considering that you didn't even know that Palestinians can't even go beyond the 6 mile point in their own coastline, I think that I probably know a little bit more.
I don't think that is necessary for me to know that.
I think that is necessary for you to know that. It is a genuinely important aspect.
I don't need to. I don't need to. How am I supposed to know every single rule or thing that was going on in Gaza, or every single miniature detail?
You don't normally need to know that. I agree. It's just that if you're going to defend Israel's actions, you might as well know what actions you're defending, don't you think?
Here, and now I have opened the 2006 Palestinian legislative election.
Good.
They were here. Legislative elections were held in the Palestinian terrorists on 25th of January.
You're 16 years old, you said,
in order
right?
to elect the second Palestinian Legislative Council. Okay. And now let me tell you who are the parties. Hamas, which won. Leader Ismail
by 3%. By 3 percentage points.
And then there was Fatah, which was
the representative of the Palestinian Authority, is the secular party. my friend, everything that you're repeating to me right now, I am very knowledgeable on. I was trying to explain it to you before you cut me off. But it's good that you're learning, so keep reading.
Okay. It's okay. And somehow, as I see, when here, let's see, the new government with Hania as prime minister was sworn in 29th of March as of April 2044.
Okay, so
as of 2020, as of April 2024, no new elections have been held since this one. Basically,
no elections were held since 2006. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So they voted for Hamas. They knew what was going on.
How old were you in 2006?
It is still not related. How old was I in 2006? That is still not related.
Because considering that the majority
is this related?
Because the majority of Palestinians are around your age. The overwhelming majority, as a matter of fact, of Palestinians are around your age. So they didn't vote for Hamas at all. It is called collective punishment. What you're describing is a justification.
Their parents voted. There were still people that voted. It wasn't like no one voted there. They still have people that are like 20.
Exactly.
Most
Do you think they deserve the punishment?
Most of the militants over there are average, from what I see, are 20 and above. They were alive.
They were alive. They were 4 or 2 years old.
2. They could still.
They could still vote.
I think
they still voted for Hamas at 2 years old.
Their system is different than ours. Yeah, and the United. Okay. And the United States spent 2.3 million in U.S. dollars to support in the Palestinian elections.
They did. It was a U.S. backed election that the Palestinian Authority Fatah urged the United States
not to supporting Israel,
not to conduct because
as well, until they noticed what was going on.
Okay, hold on. You have to listen. Come on. This is something that I definitely know more about than you do. So please.
Okay.
Let me explain it to you.
If you know more about than me, I know you probably do. Go ahead.
Okay. The elections were conducted by the Bush administration against the better interests of Fatah at the time, because Fatah at the time was seen as very corrupt. Okay? And they were seen as collaborators by the broader Palestinian population, and Hamas at the time was running as the anti-corruption candidacy. And even then, they were not very popular. Ever since then, their popularity has gone up and gone down, but overall, because they do poll the Palestinian population quite frequently on this sort of thing, Hamas is simply the government in Gaza, especially after the coup d'etat that occurred, that failed, that was also U.S.-backed, where the Fatah administrators were, that they tried to, by force, take over the Gaza Strip and failed. Another mistake that the United States brought upon both the Israeli and the Palestinian population. Having said that, however, the reason why I keep stressing how old you are, is
still not related.
It is related because what you're describing is collective punishment for the way that people vote. If that is how things worked, then Palestinians, if they had the opportunity to do so and subject the entirety of Israel to the same exact conditions that Israel subjects them to, do you think that it would be a justifiable act? If Palestinians tomorrow magically had the same nuclear capabilities of Israel and had the same weapons that Israel has and decided to put full blockade around Israel for all of the, 9 million, I believe, Israeli citizens, including the Palestinian citizens of Israel, and decided to cut them off from the rest of the world, no aid unless they control whatever goes in. Do you think that would be a justifiable situation if your living conditions were destroyed because your parents voted for the Netanyahu government? Do you think that would be valid?
But Netanyahu is not a terrorist.
Oh, Netanyahu definitely is a terrorist. I don't agree with you on that. I think that Netanyahu is very much a terrorist. What do you think terror is? Do you think October 7 was an act of terror?
Okay.
Do you think October 7 was an act of terror?
We chose this man 8 times in a row. How many times did they choose Hamas? Once, and they never had an option.
Yeah, they never had an option.
We
Yeah,
have
that's
an option to choose.
and yet you
We
still
have the
choose
option.
Netanyahu.
No, the
So
government, their government did not. After that, the Hamas did not let them. Did not post or host. There was no other elections. Why? Because they are stuck with their mindset. They want to do whatever they want. They're
wait,
basically
you
terrorists.
think if the Palestinian
I'm talking
citizens
about
had
Hamas.
an
I'm not talking
option,
about
they
the
wouldn't
citizens. I'm talking
vote?
about Hamas.
You think the Palestinian citizens don't
And
want?
okay, did you see what they teach them at school?
Uh, I
What Hamas teaches them at school?
I know what you're gonna say. Okay, let me ask you another question. What do you think is more radicalizing for someone to hate Israel? Something that you learn at school, or a bomb being dropped on your school and killing your teacher, killing your family members?
Huh? Huh? So they should so don't so they shouldn't have rockets in the school.
No, 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 no. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. What do you think is more radicalizing? What you learn at school, or a bomb being dropped on top of your school, killing your classmates, killing your teacher, killing your family members?
Okay. When did that happen? When did that happen? When they were
Every
when they
single
were
siege,
no. I
every
want
single
solid
siege
proof.
since
I want solid
2005.
proof. Please just send me solid proof when there
I'm telling
was.
you exactly what it is. You can look it up. Every single
Okay.
siege since 2005, after Israel pulled out of Gaza, has been met with bombing campaigns that end up eviscerating Palestinian life and Palestinian existence in the Gaza Strip. Beyond that, Israel also controls all flow of supplies into Gaza. Israel also obviously occupies the West Bank. So on both fronts, Palestinians are being brutalized by the Israeli state. Do you think that this is a radicalizing component, or do you think it's what they learn in school? Because you have to learn to dislike Palestinians in school.
Okay.
They
And
don't
now
have to learn it at school. They learn it when the school gets blown up.
Hold on. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just teach you about something. If you know about, did you hear about roof knocking?
Yes, of course I know
You're
what roof
talking about school.
knocking
Did you
is.
hear about roof knocking?
I know exactly what roof knocking is. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
if
now let me explain to whoever doesn't know what roof knocking is in Hebrew. It is kuda kesh bagag.
everyone here knows what
It's a
roof
term
knocking
used by.
is, but go
It's a
on.
term used by.
I'm gonna pee
us
while
to
you explain
describe-
roof knocking.
I am reading off Wikipedia. I saw what is going. It's basically okay. Let me read exactly off Wikipedia and tell you what it says. Roof knocking, in Hebrew, hakesh bagag, or knock on the roof, is a term used by the Israel Defense Force (IDF) to describe its practice of dropping non-explosive or low-yield devices on the roofs of targeted civilian homes. In the Palestinian terrorists, as a prior warning of imminent bombing attacks to give the inhabitants time to flee the attack. So whoever's saying we are bombing innocent people, there is 99% are roof knocking. Whoever doesn't believe this in the chat, go to Wikipedia, go learn. Okay, there is something that called roof knocking. And you're nervous. Wait, did he say he's going or something? I can't hear. Ah, okay, he's not here now. I can take this as my own. Okay, let me explain some more things. Okay, during the Israel 2023 Israel Hamas war, CNN reported that many people in Gaza said the ADF had abandoned the roof knocking policy. Why? Because of the war, and that is just. And then we issued mass evacuation notices, and who wanted to?
I'm back. Yes, I know what roof
you were
knocking
not
is.
here. I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't, but it's okay. I'm glad that you read the Wikipedia page for roof knocking. I'm very familiar with what it is, as this community is very familiar with it as well. So the question I present to you is this:
I'm not really sure.
If tomorrow, Hamas or any other Palestinian resistance group decided to send an artillery shell to the roof of the house that you're on right now to imply that they're going to bomb it into the ground, Would you be fine with
They
that
did.
house being bombed into
They
the
did,
ground?
and they did, and when they launched this, and and,
Wait, no, 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 to your house.
okay,
I'm saying,
Hamas doesn't
if they
warn.
did roof
They
knocking,
would.
do you think it would be okay to blow up your house?
I would evacuate. I would go save my
Okay, but
life.
would you be fine
I
with
would go
that? Like
to
you'd
not
be
be
like, all
dead.
right, I don't have a house anymore. Fuck it. But would you be fine with that?
Okay, and if the terrorists and people holding people hostage in a
Would
house,
it would
you
it be
still do
okay?
roof knocking? Would
Would
you
it be
still do
okay?
roof knocking, or you just bomb the house?
Would it be okay? I'm asking you a question. Answer the question, and then I'll respond to what you have to say. Would you be okay with your house, your school, your mall, getting roof knocked and then blown up? Would you be fine with that, or would you be upset, like a little bit?
Because I know because I and was it okay if people came into my house, held me at gunpoint, and they said we are not getting out of here until we get some sort of ransom or whatever they want from the government.
Wait, you're not hearing what I'm saying. Not only is roof knocking not being used in Gaza currently,
Okay,
but
I'm just saying.
but it had been. Do you think you would be fine
Okay.
with those who gave you ample warning, as you say, if they gave you warning to leave the house and then blew up your house? Would you be happy with that? Would you be like, well, fuck it, I don't have a house anymore? Or would you be a little sad?
What do you okay? What do you want us to do? We want us to throw sunshine and rainbows on their house?
No, I'm asking you a question. Why is it so hard to answer? It's a
After
pretty normal
7th of
question.
October, we barely do any roof
No. I'm not talking about 7th of October. You're misunderstanding the point. You're misunderstanding the point I'm making. Would you? So you wouldn't be happy, right? Can we at least say like you would be upset that your house is blown up, even if you were warned prior?
Of course, I would be upset. Of course, I would be upset. I would deal with it, and as long as I know. But
you would deal with it. But you would want.
It is better than no warning. It is better than no warning.
Sure.
But
you'd still be very mad, right? You would be like, you'd be like, what the fuck? These guys that blew up my house.
Because it's war. It is war. It's like we do. And Ukraine and Russia, it's war over there as well. People die.
I don't know why we're talking about Ukraine and Russia again. I'm asking you a very simple question, and you said you would not be happy if your house got blown up, even if you got prior notice.
Of course, but as long as I know as long as I live, as long as I am standing and I can walk, I can breathe, I can go around. I would be fine by that.
Okay, so what would
I would be fine if my house got destroyed.
But what would you do? You'd be upset. Would you want to like maybe even if it happened over and over again?
War isn't a good thing. It's
no.
war.
Okay, I understand. But if it happened over and over again, you would probably, especially when like you didn't have access to the treats, you didn't have internet, you didn't have electricity, you didn't have running water.
They have internet. How do you think Gaza uploads their videos with their full HD cameras taking footage of videos with an RPG bombing a tank? Tell me that. How do they have? They don't have internet. You're saying they don't have internet. You're saying they.
No, I'm
probably
saying
we're going to say they don't have equipment. They don't have their cell phone. Their Samsung Galaxy Tab 12, taking pictures of tanks and dead soldiers.
Yeah, it is really unfortunate that they're able to show that they're being murdered. I know, and the rest of the world is seeing it. I know it's kind of fucked up for Israel.
They are not showing what do you do?
I know. Look, you've been very cordial, so I'm not going to like yell at you or talk over you. I'm trying to just describe something. I've been trying to describe something this entire conversation that we had, and the thing I was trying to describe is the living conditions and the circumstances that Palestinians experience on a daily basis. That is where that radicalization comes from. That is where that hatred of Israel comes from. That's simply it.
That came from their decision to choose from Hamas, and everyone pays for their
2-year-olds and people that
everyone pays for the consequences.
Okay. If that was a valid argument and not simply inhumane collective punishment, because that is what it is, what you're describing is collective punishment, which is illegal.
It is collective punishment for whoever chose them.
Yes, it is illegal. Also, we can hear the guy this entire time that has been talking to you.
Okay, I really don't mind. It is all right. If you want, it's okay. I don't mind.
No, it's fine. I'm just letting you know. I didn't want to tell you.
He is backing up my opinions.
No,
And it is that is he's not some random guy. It's my friend from school.
Okay.
He lives 2 rows away from me, and we go to school every day. So it's not just some random dude. You can
It's
laugh,
all right.
okay? You
I've
can
quite
laugh.
enjoyed this conversation.
Oh, I enjoy this as well. I'm not trying to be like mean or like saying it in a mean way.
No.
I'm just
It's
saying
not.
like
No, I don't either. But I do hope that inevitably you and your friend both will maybe be a little bit more sympathetic and maybe understand exactly what I was trying to describe to you, because ultimately it
we
would
have no
be
choice. We have no choice.
unjustifiable. It would be a crime and unjustifiable if, let's say, in the future at a certain point
Mhm.
that Palestinians had the same level of resources and power that Israel currently has, and the backing of the international community to do to you what your government has done to
Oh,
them.
we would be dead. We would be dead if that happened
Exactly.
already.
And the reality
We
is you cannot sustain
okay.
a
And let's say
healthy
you're saying,
you cannot
and you're
sustain a
saying now me,
healthy
you're saying now me
existence
and my
like this.
friend want us to understand what's going on. Okay, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to take our M16s, go in Gaza, or do something, or
No,
go kill
no,
the
not at all.
soldiers that
Not
are
at
with
all.
us.
Not at all. Not at all. The first step.
We are 16-year-olds going to
No, of
school,
course.
hanging out.
Of course. That's why I wanted to originally, before finding out more about your perspective, was trying to lead you to look into both B'Tselem, but more importantly than that, also Meservot, which is comprised of a lot of individuals around your age group as well. To you know, at first stage, the first stage for you would be to recognize why Palestinians are angry, and to develop a better understanding of their living
I understand why
conditions.
they're angry. They have right. They have a right to be angry. But the thing is, the situation
Hmm.
is not good.
The
Me,
situation is not
we
good
sinning
for
right
a
now.
brief moment for
I have
you.
nothing to do
The
with that.
situation is not good for a
I
brief
can't
moment for
help.
you on October 7. And it is true. It is
On
not a good.
October 7th, I was in my shelter, hiding for
No,
holding
I
for dear
know.
life.
Yeah, well, the problem is Palestinian kids that look exactly like you, that are your age, don't even have the fucking shelter to hide in, though. And their existence is chaos every day.
Okay.
And that's not
As
just since October 7. Their existence is chaotic
okay,
whenever Israel
okay,
decides
and
that there
that's the
needs to be
state right now. That's the
chaos.
situation right now.
I know.
That they chose.
And
What do we want?
you and
What do you
you as
want
a good
me to do? What do you
person,
want me to do?
I'm telling you, you as a good person should probably stand against that. Should probably
Mhm.
say enough is enough, and you should get your friends to also understand the conditions that Palestinian children just like you are subjected to on a daily basis, instead of making excuses for it by saying they deserve it, which is very mean to say in
Okay,
my
so
opinion, because
what we
if the shoe was on the other
what we as
foot,
Israel what we need to do? Tell me.
they would probably want you to engage in protests and also become a conscientious objector to the IDF. These are, I mean, there's many different things that you can do, but protesting
No.
would
I asked you
probably
a
be one
question.
of the
What do you
first
want
things.
us as Israel to do about the situation?
Oh, you mean Israel? Oh, I want
Yes,
Israel
I said Israel. I don't
to.
say me. I said Israel.
Oh, okay, my bad. I want Israel
Israel.
to end the apartheid. I want Israel to move towards a one-state
And
solution
then
where all Palestinians not only have a right to return, but also the same right to return afforded to every Jewish person around the planet should be
okay,
afforded to
we
the
did that, and
Palestinians.
lots of Israelis died. Lots of Israeli people
No,
died.
you did not do that, and lots of Israelis died. That's that. What do you mean? Right to return for Palestinians has never been even a starting point in any of the negotiations during the peace process. There has never been a right to return. Even right to return afforded with Israeli demographic concerns in mind was a non-starter. Was not even something that could ever
And let's
happen.
say I'm sorry for cutting off, but let's
The
say
point is, there's
we
nothing
do
different.
free the border. Let's say we free the border.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry
yeah.
for cutting off. Let's say we free the border. Everyone comes in.
What do you mean comes in?
There's probably lots of militants, people coming on with their weapons, trying to kill us. Why? Because they're being because
It's a great question.
because that's what they want. If we
Okay,
if we
that's not.
if we would
That's not.
if we would free them
That's not what they
and
want.
let
They
them
want
come into our
freedom.
country, and they would have cars and they could drive and do whatever they want because they're a citizen of they would be considered a citizen of this country, and they would
Yeah.
be
So
in
right now,
in
let
Israeli
me ask you
territory.
something.
I
Right.
would be
Let me ask you
dead.
something. Right now, if an Israeli Jewish citizen goes and is a murderer, right? Like, and they go and kill another Israeli Jewish citizen, what happens?
Oh, he goes to jail.
There you go. If there is
Like
any
like
kind of
every
terror,
terrorist that comes into Israel
yes, if
and
there's
kills
any kind of
people, they
terror,
were sent
once
to
there
Israeli
is,
jail.
yeah, well, there you go. That's the difference. Okay.
And let me
The
ju- let- and,
idea,
let me- and,
the
let- and
idea, the idea that Palestinians across the board are going to want to get vengeance is not a new idea. It's an old idea. It's actually something that those who have oppressed others throughout history have always falsely, mind you, believed. Oh, the Irish, if we allow them to, if we liberate Ireland, then they'll come back and kill us. Oh, if the black population in South Africa, if we give them full blown citizenship, they'll kill us in vengeance. Oh, if slavery is abolished in the United States of America, then black people will rise up and kill every single white person. This is a real fear that is ever present. They will do to us what we have done to them is the operating protocol here. History, on the other hand, has shown that that is not what happens. What ends up happening in many instances actually is like with the inception of the Ku Klux Klan in the Reconstruction era in the South, it's actually more likely that the current settlers that live in the West Bank, they would probably do violence to the Palestinians. It is not violence from the Palestinians that you should fear. It is more violence that settlers will that want to take matters in their own hands. That's the real violence that will disrupt the peace process. That is a very real consideration, and it should still be handled like a normal democratic country, like a normal liberal democracy. That's what I want.
How?
And that's what what do you mean how? Through regular protocols, through a police force, through a civil criminal justice structure. That will still have a litany of different issues and different complications. There will still be plenty of inequality. However, that is an objectively better circumstance for all the Palestinians and the Israelis as well for long lasting peace. That's what I believe. And I hope one day you will realize that as well. And your friend who's been communicating with me and you this time throughout this.
Oh, if you want, I can, I can bring him on.
It's okay. I have to go because this has been a wonderful conversation, but it's taking up a lot of space on the stream.
In the end, it got a little bit out of hand, and I'm sorry about that. If I was a little bit aggressive in any way, I was trying to keep it as peaceful as possible, but I did go a little bit too far.
It's all right. All right. Well, you have a good one. Okay. I appreciate you for coming on.
I still have way more things. If you want, I can hop on another time. We can continue this conversation. It's solely up to you.
Maybe in the future. All right. Have a good one.
Maybe in the future, whatever.
All right. Bye.